future starters. Singer's already here.
Kris Bryant out into deep left center. Gone! A home run. Bryant high and deep left center. Gone! A home run.
But do you trust me? He's like, yeah. Well, he said, come here.
KB's going to do it again. Cubs lead 1-0. Swing and a miss. Called strike 3. Milwaukee now 3 games under 500. Swing and a miss.
All right, let's dive into this one. Thank you guys for coming back. We are talking Kris Bryant and Kyle Hendricks. Blue Jays fans, are you with me? Give me the thumbs up. Give me that thumbs up if you're excited about a potential trade to bring in a new third baseman and that starting pitcher that the Blue Jays need. I think this trade needs to happen. I want this trade to happen. I know a lot of people are down on Kris Bryant. I am not as down. I think 2020 was an aberration. I think we see 2019 Kris Bryant, and that was a good version of Kris Bryant. So thank you guys for being here. What we're going to do in this video, we're going to take a look at Kris Bryant. We're going to take a look at Kyle Hendricks, look at their projections for 2021. We'll take a look at what the rotation could look like, the lineup could look like, the depth chart could look like. This would be a fun trade. And let's just start with the lineup. What would a lineup with Kris Bryant look like for anybody who maybe isn't sold on Kris Bryant to the Blue Jays yet? Boom. Look at this lineup. If you have Kris Bryant hitting 6th, I mean, so many movable parts here. Springer at the top, Biggio, Bichette, Guerrero, Gurriel, Bryant, Hernandez, Grichuk. A nice thing about Kris Bryant coming over is you wouldn't have to trade Grichuk. You just play musical chairs with that DH spot and the 3 outfielders. I mean, it works. This is how it works. I mean, you know, I know a lot of folks would like Marcell Ozuna, something like that. If you do that, you're making a trade, right? You're trading Randal Grichuk. How much trade value does Randal Grichuk has? I got to think the Blue Jays front office has a handle on that, and this is probably the better move. In my opinion, the better move is to go and get Kris Bryant and do that deal. Let's talk about his projection, though. Actually, before we do that, let's look at, here's the thing, because the Blue Jays are competing with a handful of teams to get Kris Bryant services. And it's a few teams, right? The Nats have been linked to him. We know the Nats have a situation at third base that they probably want to address, that they may feel like they need to do something with. Do the Nats get into it? The Dodgers, their third base situation, do they bring Justin Turner back or do they do Kris Bryant? How about the Mets? Do they want a versatile player like Kris Bryant? So there's a lot of different teams that are vying for Kris Bryant. I hope it ends up with Toronto. Here's his projection for the 2021 season. This is pretty good. This is taking into account when Ron Chandler and the baseball forecaster folks do a projection, they are basing it on their metrics, basing it on their trends. And this is Kris Bryant's situation right here. 94 runs, 25 homers, 66 RBI, 3 steals, a slash line of 268, 370, and 478. That slash line, I'm a fan of that slash line. Sure, it could be a little bit better, but if this is what we're projecting, I'd be fine with this. I would be happy with this from the third baseman. Let me know. We are live right now, so everybody that is in the chat room, let me know what you're thinking. And this is about 60%. Thank you for adding that in. That's kind of how it works. When the baseball forecaster folks are doing this, they're projecting it at about a 60% confidence rate. So there's room for this to grow. There is a high, there is a peak, there is a ceiling here. This is not it. This is what they're projecting. So I like the potential here for Kris Bryant to maybe bring something like this to Toronto. This looks good. Again, we talked about the lineup. Let's look at the depth chart. Let's look at what the field would look like with Kris Bryant. You got Bryant at third, Vladdy at first. So Vladdy doesn't get to move back to third, but they'll have a good reason for him to not go back to third. If they don't do anything at third base and then they just tell Vladdy no just because, that's probably going to upset him. He's working his tail off. So you have a reason to keep Vladdy at first. Bo's at short, Cavins at second. That outfield, again, you put Springer in center, and then between, I think Lourdes, with how well he played left, he should really just be entrenched in left. But if he needs a day off, you put him at DH, and that's how you do it. That's how you do it with Randall, Teoscar, and Lourdes and George. When they need a day off, you stick him at DH. This is what the Jays lineup, that's what the fielding could look like. And I would love this situation. I think that this needs to be the press right now. This needs to be what they need to do. Now, let's talk about Kyle Hendricks real quick. What does the rotation look like? Because that might be the most important part of this, is making sure that the rotation is secure. Don't just go and get the bat. Let's see if we can get the rotation secure too, because we know the Cubs are having a fire sale. Ryu, Hendricks, Pearson, Ray, Roark. I have Roark here because there could be some pieces that go in a Hendricks trade, and Roark's making a lot of money. So I got to think the front office is thinking Roark is our man to be the number 5 starter. At least he's going to start that way, and we'll see where it goes. But I love this rotation. I love Ryu at the top. Hendricks and Ryu, they would complement each other so nicely. You have Pearson. Then you go Robbie Ray. The upside for Robbie Ray, in my opinion, is, he could be a top line starter. That's his ceiling. We've seen him do it before. I think he could do it again. It's just that number 5 spot, that Roark spot. We're going to get to in just a second what the Jays might have to give up. That's the next part about this. But what we're going to dive into immediately right now, let's look at the Kyle Hendricks projection for 2021. This would be a great number 2 starter. Let's just be straight up about it. 13 wins, 162 Ks over 196 innings, a 3.24 ERA, and a 1.09 whip. If he's the number 2 starter with this team, we are live right now. So comment in the chat if you think he goes over, under, if he looks good. If you think he's going under, what do you think he's going under? Where does he go over, under? I think he could go over in wins. I think the Ks probably look about right. That ERA, that whip looks about right. I think he could maybe get a couple more wins in Toronto. That's my opinion. So I would love Kyle Hendricks in this rotation. Let's look at what they'd have to give up, though, because that is a big part of this. What are you comfortable giving up? Jays fans, comment in the chat, comment below in the comments if you're catching this after the live, if you're watching the replay. What are you comfortable giving up? Because that's the other part of this. Kris Bryant isn't going to come cheap. Now, if you're trading for Kris Bryant, this is a great time because he's coming off a bad 2020. But what are you comfortable? Let's switch the hat because we are talking Blue Jays, and I say whenever we're talking Jays, the hat's forward. So what are we comfortable giving up? Well, here are the pieces I think could be going to Chicago in this kind of a trade. Here's your suspects: Grichuk, K, Merriweather, Borucki, Zoich, McGuire, Groshans, Wood, Richardson, and Manoah. I have a feeling that if a trade happens, some of these pieces are going to be involved. Comment in the comment section if you're catching the replay. If you're live here now, what are the pieces that you're comfortable with getting rid of? Because I'm telling you, it's going to take a couple of these guys to get the deal done. It could be a Grichuk, K, Merriweather situation, maybe more than that. The nice piece is Bryant is coming off a down year, and it's only a 1-year deal. So the Blue Jays have that on their side. So what are the pieces that are going to the Cubs to get this deal done? Grichuk, I think if they bring in Bryant, I'd love for them to try to hold Grichuk, but they're going to need to give the Cubs something. We got a Kirk, Marino plus Manoah, Woods, Richardson plus Thornton K. I would see if I'm brokering this deal, if I'm calling the Cubs, I am doing Jordan Groshans because I think that is the carrot. I think that is the piece the Cubs are like, oh yeah, that's one of your top prospects. We could do something with that. I'm sending Groshans. I'm sending McGuire. I'm sending Borucki. Let's give Borucki a chance to be a starter somewhere. Borucki's going to be stuck in the bullpen here. So let's give Borucki a chance to go start. Let's give him a chance to take his career to a new level. So I'm going Groshans, McGuire, Borucki, and I'm going to give them. So I'm going to give them another pitcher. They could pick one between K or Zoich or Manoah. That would be. It's going to have to be something if Kyle Hendricks is included. That's the whole part of this. More pieces have to go if they're both coming back to Toronto. Big part there. big part there. But we'll see. We're going to see what this looks like. It is really just sort of something that, it's not all over the place, like something that is going to happen. It's imminent and it's coming around and it's going to be here soon, but it's in enough places where folks are talking about it. You got this, the MLB News Network, you've got Bleacher Nation, you've got a lot of accounts on social media talking about a potential trade with Bryant, with the Blue Jays. And so we're watching it. That is what we're doing here. We are watching it, and we are trying to figure out what is going. Tellez can go. I don't know if Tellez has the value. To be a part of this trade. Maybe he does. But with that lineup, when we're looking at the lineup, Tellez doesn't fit, right? Now, Tellez would be a nice lefty bat because after Biggio, where's the lefty bat, guys? There isn't one. So that's why it would be nice to hold on to Rowdy Tellez, okay? Just to have that lefty bat. Unless they have plans to go out and get somebody in the free agent market. That's my feeling on the lefty, on Rowdy Tellez. They could let Tellez go and then go bring in Colton Wong or Tommy La Stella or somebody like that. That could be a domino move if Tellez is included in a trade. But again, this is where Rowdy Tellez would fit. He would be the number 2 DH and the number 2 first baseman. We're gonna have to see how the trade pieces fall, how the trade winds blow when it comes to all of this with a potential for Bryant and Hendricks. Now, let's address just how good would the Blue Jays be with this move. Guys, they're making a run for it. They're going for it. If the Blue Jays make this move on top of Springer and Yates, and I think that if they do this, they could add one more starting pitcher just for some depth, somebody to take a chance on. This Blue Jays team, listen, I'm a Jays fan. I understand it. But I think if you've been watching the channel long enough, I can be impartial. And I'm trying to be impartial still. But I'm telling you, the Jays are making a run for the American League East, and they will have the pieces to win the East. They will have the pieces to make a deep run in the playoffs. And that's all you need. You need the pieces. And then you need the pieces to fall into play. And maybe some of the other teams for the pieces not to fall into play. That's what it takes. The Blue Jays will be setting themselves up for success, which is what we want. I'm all about it. I think that this would be just a great move here for the Toronto Blue Jays, and we're going to hope that something like this can happen. This would be an exciting move, and we got some folks want to keep Groshans. I can understand. I understand the desire to hold on to Jordan Groshans, but he hasn't played above A-ball. His arrival was delayed a year. We don't know what he is. They've got Austin Martin. So Jordan Groshans is kind of expendable right now. I think you have to trade him because you've got Austin Martin, who projects higher than Jordan Groshans. So, and that's the move. Ultimately, that's the move. I don't want to trade Martin, but I would trade Groshans. That is my sell job on it's okay to sell Jordan Groshans. Get something that's proven, bring that in. And again, right behind him, you got Martin, who's going to eclipse him probably by the end of this season. Martin will eclipse Groshans if he hasn't already. I've seen some, the baseballhq.com guys, their top 100 prospects, they've already got Martin ahead of Groshans. So that's the situation. Just got here. What I missed about Bryant, 38 miles to Bixby. We are just talking about the trade winds that are swirling, the talk, the chatter that is out there about the Blue Jays checking in and talking to the Cubs about a trade. It's not done. It doesn't seem imminent, but it is a conversation that is ongoing, and we're watching it because here at Ballcap Sports, we're rooting for it. I want this trade to happen. I hope you guys do too. I know that it was a bad year last year for Kris Bryant. I get that, and it was brutal. He had more RBIs the last week of the season than he did all year coming into it. Okay, I get it, but I just feel like he's a star player. Get him out of Chicago. Get him into a situation where he can fall back in love with the game, because this team is fun. Kris Bryant on this team. Kris Bryant's going to have fun. Kris Bryant, I hope you watch this video. I know you won't, but if somebody could send this clip to Kris Bryant, come to Toronto, talk the Cubs into doing the deal, because you will have a blast with this team, with Bo Bichette, with Teoscar Hernandez, and the sunflower seed, fireworks in the dugout after a home run. Like, come to the Blue Jays. You will love it here. It will revitalize the whole thing, man. Kris Bryant, this would just be a great deal. I hope they are able to work it out. And again, I'm giving up. I'm giving him a pass on last year. I think that what he did last year is not what you want to look at. Look at what he did in 2019. Kris Bryant in 2019, for everybody that doesn't like it, 31 homers, 108 runs, 77 RBI because he's hitting at the top of the lineup, 282, 382, and 521 slash line. That was 2019 Kris Bryant. 2020 Kris Bryant stunk, but a lot of people stunk in 2020. It's more about the season. The fact that they only had 2 months. There was no time for Kris Bryant to get hot for a month and a half to totally right the ship. A lot of guys didn't have that luxury. Kris Bryant was one of them. Get Kris Bryant to Toronto. Get him here now. Somebody get Ross Atkins on the phone and tell him to do this deal. I hope you guys are excited about this deal. I'm excited about this deal. I want it to happen. It would just sort of put the Blue Jays over the top. And as I said a few minutes ago, give them the pieces, put them in position to succeed, to win, to go for that American League East, to go for a deep playoff run. That's what I want. We few years ago, under different front office, we made the moves for Tulowitzki and Price, and that was good. This would be better. This would be a lot better. This would bring back memories of that crew with Encarnacion and Donaldson and Batista. This would be a whole new version of that. So Blue Jays fans, you got to get in this boat with me. This is an exciting time. I hope that you guys want this to happen. So let's see what happens. Again, we got about $20 million for Kris Bryant in the 2021 season. So it's a healthy salary, and it's the 1-year deal. We'll see what does it mean. What are they able to renew him for? How long? He's going to have a whole new contract situation moving forward. They got to figure that out. I think that it's ultimately it's a good time. It's a good time to go and get Kris Bryant. This will be his age 29 season. He's still got a few good years left in him. I think Kris Bryant has 5 good years left. Let's go get those 5 years. Let's go make sure those 5 years are with the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, Kyle Hendricks, we're talking about him too. Kyle Hendricks is on a contract through 2023. So you get him for 3 more years. And it's really not that bad of a salary. It's about 10, 12, 13 million a year. Not that bad of an option. Not that bad of a deal. And he's been a steady guy. And he's going to be entering his age 31 season. Last year was very nice. 2.88 ERA. He has a career 3.12 ERA, Kyle Hendricks does. Let's get this. Put me on the phone. Put me on the phone with Connor. I'm sorry, buddy. We got to put you in timeout, man. It's too much. We just got to get this deal done. How much will a Bryant extension cost? See, it depends. Right now, if you were to extend, he probably wouldn't want to extend right now because he doesn't have much bargaining power. At the end of the year, if he goes out and puts up another season like he did, I think he's probably Springer money. McGregor, if you're still here hanging out, it's just 5 minutes, man. It's just a 5-minute timeout. It's just too much, dude. Who would I give up? Good question. Thank you for bringing that up. We do have more eyes hopping in than when we put this up before. These are the trade pieces. In my opinion, these are the pieces you have to build a trade from this. And I think this is what you need to build that trade. Now, I don't love the idea of giving up Grichuk in this scenario because he still has a home on that in the lineup if you go get Bryant. Now, it's a very right-handed heavy lineup. They need lefty bats, so maybe they trade Grichuk because they feel like they need to give Tellez some reps because they need the lefty bat at DH. But these are the pieces: Grichuk, K, Merriweather, Baraki, Zoich, McGuire, Groshans, Woods, Richardson, and Manoah. You guys comment in the chat. Let me know what you want, what your trade piece looks like, what your trade looks like. For these two guys, let's break it down this way. If it was just Bryant, I'm thinking it is a Grichuk, K, Woods, Richardson kind of thing. If it's just Hendricks, it's probably a Baraki, Zoich, McGuire kind of thing. Like, I think Bryant gets the bigger haul back, but we're gonna have to see. We have to see. But I think you can build the trade out of these pieces. And with the rotation shaping up the way it is, here's the thing. Because I am attached to K and Merriweather and Baraki. I want to see Manoah break through. I'm attached to these guys too. But here's the thing. Let's get back to what the rotation looks like right now. Ryu, Hendricks with this trade. Ryu, Hendricks, Pearson, Ray. Roark is at that 5 spot only because he's got the high salary, right? If they weren't paying him so much, then he's gone. There's no Robbie. There's no Tanner Roark. So really, we're looking at a situation with the Blue Jays here where Kay and Baraki and Merriweather and Woods Richardson, like, they're not going to get the reps over the next couple of years. They're just not. Like, if it's somebody who's 3-4 years away, hold on to them, let's develop them. But if it's somebody who's ready now, like Kay or Baraki or Merriweather, they may have to be a part of a trade. I love what we saw from Merriweather last year in limited time, but Merriweather could show up in 2021 and implode. We don't know, but we know what Kyle Hendricks is. So if Merriweather has to be in a deal for Kyle Hendricks, I'm okay with that. So that's the situation. Like, holding on to all these pitchers isn't going to do them anything. It's best to try to turn them into something that they can get right now. If you're getting Bryant, then Groshans is expendable. From JP, I agree with you 100%. And that is why I feel like you can make Jordan Groshans part of the deal. Not only that, Jay, but you've got Austin Martin that is going to eclipse, and based on some rankings, has already eclipsed Jordan Groshans. So Jordan Groshans, get rid of him now. Jordan Groshans' value is probably about as high. Maybe he can get a little bit higher if he gets into Double-A in 2021 and tears it up. Then his value could get a little bit higher. But he could also go to Double-A and struggle. Groshans' value is probably as high as it's going to be. Send him to Chicago. Make him part of the deal. I'm cool with it. Need to be fine with Bryant not signing. I understand that's where this gets sticky. Because Kris Bryant might not sign. Kris Bryant might not stay. That's the part of this that is sticky. It's a 1-year deal. You gotta weigh that out. You give up Groshans and another, 2 other pitchers for Bryant, and then he leaves. Then you feel like you're left holding the bag, right? You got. We were talking about Hendricks. You got Hendricks for a few years. Kyle Hendricks is locked up until the end of 2023 season, and then he's got an option for 24, a vesting option. So, there's you hold on to him for a little bit, but yeah, likely, like the Mets did with Lindor, you're going to make that trade, and you're going to hope that you can re-sign him. Jays won't want to do that if they aren't going to have a chance to re-sign him. Everybody that is here, thank you for being here. Make sure you give the video a like. Everybody that's hanging out, that's just sitting there watching right now, we got about 150 people in here. Hit the like if you are a Jays fan, if you are excited about the chance to make this trade happen, to bring Hendricks and Bryant in. Hit the like if you're sitting here and hanging out and you haven't hit it yet. Make sure you hit that like. Please do that. Hit the like if you want this trade to happen. It's all about karma. You got to hit that like to make this trade happen. And if you're not a Blue Jays fan, but you just love trades, hit the like. Because I know we have some, non-Jays fans in here. as well, some regular viewers of the channel who are not Blue Jays fans, and that's cool. Always hit the like if you can. It's tremendous support. I love it, and I appreciate it. And subscribe if you have not subscribed. If you're a Blue Jay fan and you're just checking us out for the first time and you haven't subscribed yet, this is a great place to hang out. We talk Jays a lot. We talk a lot about all baseball. It's a great place to hang out for Jays too. Bring back Shoemaker. That could be an option if they do this deal. Shoemaker would be a nice piece. I think that Roark salary is a problem though. I do. I think that Roark salary is going to really throw things off. But we'll see. We are live. Anybody that's catching the replay of this, we are live, just watching the chat right now. We've kind of covered everything that I had planned to cover in the prep with the graphics and my notes and everything. So we've kind of covered everything. Just watching the chat for a few more minutes. Jays need pitching, not hitting. I agree with you, Nolan, and that's why we want Hendricks to be a part of this deal. Let's see. Samuel saying take Woods Richardson off the list and then let them choose from the rest. Okay. I think that obviously not everybody on that list is going, but 4 or 5 guys are going to have to go, for sure. Look at what the Yankees, with the whole Taillon deal, the Yankees gave up 4 prospects for Jameson Taillon. How does that impact the market for Kyle Hendricks? Kyle Hendricks is a more established pitcher. If I had to choose between Taillon or Hendricks, I'd want Hendricks. So does that mean that the Jays going to have to give up 6 players for Bryant and Hendricks? We'll see. Jack 67 World Series predictions. Man, I feel like that's changing by the day with all of these moves. I had been going Dodgers and White Sox. If the Blue Jays pull this move off, they're going to be in the mix for that. It is going to be tough to make the call, but if the Blue Jays can do this move and add one more piece to that rotation, I might start throwing the Blue Jays in my World Series prediction. Let's see. Brian was valued in Chicago, but hadn't done much the last few years. Jamie, 2019. Look at Bryant's 2019. Kris Bryant was great in 2019. It's not that he hasn't done anything the last few years. Look at 2019. He was great. He was an all-star. He should have had MVP votes. I don't know how he didn't. He didn't drive in enough runs because he doesn't hit low enough in the lineup. I'm all about Kris Bryant. Look at Kris Bryant's 2019. It was great. He's great. It seems like Bryant just wants to seem to value him, unlike the Cubs. Right. I think, Owen, if he goes to the Blue Jays, saying it a minute ago, he'll have so much fun. And it'll show Bryant that the Blue Jays want him because the Blue Jays are going to have to give up a lot. So it'd be a great move. I think Kris Bryant will get excited about it. I think he would love the idea that, one of his teammates would be coming with him. He'd be going to a fun and exciting situation. That Cubs situation is depressing. Of course, I wouldn't be in love with baseball either. I would be depressed about playing baseball if I was in that Cubs situation right now, walking into that clubhouse, watching my guys go out the door. My buddy Schwarber's gone. Let's talk about trading Baez. Almora's gone. Darvish is gone. Lester's gone. You wouldn't be having fun with that. No, definitely not. So, we're going to see how it all plays out. Listen, guys, this was fun. I would love to keep going longer, but I can't. Make sure that you are subbing to the channel and you like the video. We are going to wrap up. Check out some of the other content in the replay. Once this gets posted up and processed and everything, I'm going to add some other content that we've done that you can click into. I appreciate you guys for hanging out. We are going to finish up this one with some Kris Bryant bombs. So hang out, watch that. Have a great Sunday. There's some pretty exciting, pretty big football games coming on later today. Go Bills, Bills Mafia all day long. Again, we're going to finish up with some Bryant home runs. Thank you guys for being here and hanging out. We'll be back on for sure live on Tuesday night with the nightcap, maybe sooner before then, depending on what's going on. Again, here are some Bryant homers to take us home.
Future starters. Singer's already here.
Kris Bryant out into deep left center. Gone! A home run. Bryant high and deep left center. Gone! A home run.
But do you trust me? He's like, yeah. Well, he said, come here.
KB's going to do it again. Cubs lead 1-0.